Hello and welcome here to Talk FCB and welcome back here to the channel, guys, for another video. Now, I am still in Barcelona and with no player presentation today and no game, I thought, what else can I do to show you guys? So what I've done is done the Camp Nou experience, where you go around the Camp Nou, you see the inside, the outside, you go out onto the different sort of tiers, you can have the different views and inside the stadium as well. So what I thought I would do is compile a lot of that footage showing you guys around the Camp Nou. Those of you who have been, it's a nice trip down memory lane to look back on some very fond memories, I'm sure. And for those of you who haven't yet been to the Camp Nou, this should be a good insight into what you can expect should you ever grace this magnificent stadium. So sit back, relax and enjoy the footage from the Camp Nou experience. So I'm going to give you a bit of a guided tour, guys. Here we are in the club shop. It is 3 stories high, 3 different levels, as you will see from this little short film here. As you got now the entrance, you go down the stairs, and here is somewhere where Coutinho was in the past few days when he was printing his name on the back of the shirt. You come down here, you sort of place your order, and then your shirt, whether how personal it is, whether it's one of the players, it goes on that little rack right till the end. This is looking down on it from the very top level of the club shop. At the top you've got the sort of fashion section, the second level is more your player shirts for your adults, and then the bottom section is a lot of different things, and also the kids wear. Outside now we are where you go in for the Camp Nou experience, as you can see right there. Also down that street you've got Palo Blaugrana, you've also got a number of restaurants and little bars and things like that, so there's quite a lot in the round the vicinity of the Camp Nou, and you've also got the entrance to the club shop. Here we are now, we've gone in to the Camp Nou experience and we are starting our voyage to the Camp Nou. We're not quite inside the Camp Nou yet. You start your tour outside just around by the club shop and you can see there in the distance the Camp Nou. We're about to cross that bridge and go inside and have a look around and see what's in there. And you can see here a nice little footage. You've got your screen as you go through that little tunnel. Sergio Roberto invites you in to see a bit more, and as you go down the tunnel leading to the Camp Nou here, you've got a number of different things on each side, moments from the Camp Nou, iconic photographs, and it's really nice to sort of walk down there as you get ready to grace this magnificent stadium. Inside now we are to the Club Museum. Now this is an absolutely unbelievable part of the tour. They sell it as one of the big things that you obviously want to go and see. Right along the right hand side there you've got trophy after trophy after trophy, and not just recent ones either, ones that go back a long time. You've got different shirts, and every single trophy that we have ever won in our history is on these walls here. Next to it there's a little label explaining what the trophy is, when it was won, how it was won. You can see along the bottom there there's a number of shirts, and also when you go into the centre then of that museum you've got pictures, you've got text explaining different stages of our history. You can see here this main bit here is all about Cruyff's dream team and what goes with that. You've got different player shirts from that time. There's Histo Stoichkov's shirt there, and you've also got, you know, classic shirts, boots worn by the players that have been left in this museum as fantastic artifacts. And like I say, it's not just recent stuff either. You can go here and you can learn an awful lot about the history of the club. And here now we are moving on to some of the more recent trophies, you know, and there's particularly in this section here a lot of the trophies that we did win in that sextuple season. There's also the trophies, of course, from our treble winning season under Luis Enrique, in particular here the FIFA Club World Cups and the UEFA Super Cup, La Liga titles, Copa del Rey trophies. There is a completely separate section though, which we will be seeing very shortly, on our Champions League title wins. Of course, 5 times Champions League winners, and believe me, Barca well document that. But here we're moving through some of the influential coaches during Barcelona's time and some of the best years in our history so far. You can see here Pep Guardiola's documented very heavily. Iniesta, the sextuple, like I've just said, that's obviously magnificent for the club. They focus very much as well on Iniesta, Messi, Xavi, when the 3 of them got nominated for the Ballon d'Or award. And you can see here obviously Tito Villanova, the sad passing of him, but the fantastic things that he did while he was still at the club. And of course Luis Enrique and the treble winning season, like I just said. Very interesting here as well, we've actually got Neymar's gold medal that he won from the Olympic Games in Brazil. Really interesting to see there. Messi's shirt from when he scored Barcelona's 5,000th goal in La Liga. There's match worn boots, there's a signed ball once again by the man himself. There's also signed gloves and a message here from Victor Valdez. There's the classic shirt, the Centenario shirt there also. And there was trophies as well, not just from football, but every single sport you could associate with Barcelona. There's handball, basketball, the women's team, of course. Everything that you could connect with Barcelona Barcelona, not just football, they put everything there. And this is a really nice little graphic here. There's basically a board, lots of twisting and turning pieces of paper, and they go round and round, proving some iconic images. There's Carlos Puyol, there's Lionel Messi, and it basically just promotes the values of Mescayan Club more than a club. It says about humility, about teamwork, about being that togetherness, and it's a really cool little moment there to go through these different iconic pictures right the way through Barcelona history and have a look at them all go in front of you. And this is what I mentioned about the UEFA Champions League section. We've documented our 5 different wins. We've got here the Rome win in 2009, then you go to Paris in 2006, we're working our way backwards here, and then the Dream Team back in 1992 at Wembley. 2 of our finals, of course, in the Champions League, both coming at Wembley, and then you can see the Champions League trophies on display. All 5 of them are there in the museum, each and every one of them also supplemented with a little artifact from the final. And as you're about to see from the 2009 win, obviously it wasn't the final, but it are Andres Iniesta's boots from that memorable match-winning goal against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, which was a massive, massive factor in us winning that Champions League title. So there's some really, really cool things here, moments of history, little fragments of what have been massive parts of our success, and it's really, really interesting to have a look at. And of course, in the Barca Museum, there's a section all about Lionel Messi. There's his golden boots. His most recent one, though, isn't in there yet, but it's going to be in the museum very, very shortly indeed. And you also, of course, have his Ballon d'Ors. There should be a lot more of them there, but there isn't, unfortunately. But Lionel Messi's Ballon d'Ors, his personal accolades, it describes him as the greatest player of all time, and absolutely rightly so. There's also a section here on our recent Copa del Rey successes, King of the Cups. Obviously, we've won them in successive years, and now we are about to go on to the Camp Nou pitch and have a look from the second tier. The view from up here was absolutely spectacular. Very, very similar seats to where we were sitting yesterday. We watched Coutinho be presented as a Barcelona player right on the halfway line. If you're going to come and watch a game, do watch it from this kind of angle. Absolutely fantastic views there. You can also see just down there, as I zoom in now, the President's box. In that box, they have very comfy seats, very spacious around. They also have TVs in front of them so they can see what's going on. Now we're about to approach the mix zone where players will gather after the game. Some of them will talk to the press. This will be absolutely full of journalists standing up outside the mix zone there, waiting for a few words on the players as they pass through it. And we're also about to enter the press conference area where Ernesto Valverde will sit down, and also the players, of course, and do their speeches. When I have come to the tour before, you've actually been able to sit up there and actually speak into the microphone, but unfortunately couldn't do that this time around. And I want to show you here inside the visitors' dressing room, just to give you a bit of a feel of what it's like inside the dressing rooms at the Camp Nou. You've got the physio tables there, you've got your tactics board for your coaches, the jacuzzi area there, or maybe an ice bath, something like that, and the shower areas. But this is not Barcelona's dressing room. This is simply the visitors' dressing room. Again, you cannot go inside the Barcelona home dressing room, which I would imagine is really, really impressive. Usually the visitors' dressing room is not as good as the home team, and there's some of the players there who have graced the dressing room. But of course now it's time to go down the Barcelona tunnel to climb up those very iconic steps leading to the Camp Nou pitch, and we are now about to get our first glimpse of the pitch up close and personal. And again, they didn't used to have those barriers there blocking your entry to the pitch. It used to just have ropes. And when I have been to the tour before, I was a bit of a rebel. I ducked under the ropes just to touch that Camp Nou pitch. So I have touched it. Couldn't do it this time round. But as you can see there, fantastic view of around the stadium. You've got the dugout, of course. And you can see up there, we're going to go up there just later on in the video, but it is the commentary area where all the commentators will sit when they commentate on Barcelona. And it's a real sky view up there looking down. And again, the President's box there to your right side in the prime position at the Camp Nou. And I just want to show you, for some of you guys who haven't been, the interior at the Camp Nou, because it is not the most modern stadium ever. You can see why in the coming years we are going to be renovating this and modernising it a little bit, because it is a lot of stone, it's a lot of wear and tear, obviously a very iconic, historic stadium, and for that reason it hasn't really been renovated that many times in recent memory, and that certainly needs to be done in and around the Camp Nou. But here now we are going up to the top by the commentator's box. You can see here even higher up now in the stadium, and it goes right the way along. It's a really, really big area. The commentators can come, they bring their equipment, their laptops, their microphones, etc, etc. They will then sit in this box, and I can just imagine this kind of area during the games like the PSG comeback, the incredible Clasico victories, last minute goals, Messi masterclasses. It would really be an unbelievable place to see. You see they got their TV there above where they're sitting so they can check the monitor if they need to go over anything, but they've got a real sky view. And I have to say there also, there is no window there in that paint. And I was just saying earlier on Twitter, I am surprised that during that remontada against PSG, nobody flew out of that open window, because it would have got very, very excitable in there. And there is no window at all in that glass, so you can look straight out. And it is a long way up from there. It really, really is. But a fantastic position, and just a little bit of insight there on what the commentators would be doing when they come to the Camp Nou to commentate on the games, and where exactly they'd be sitting, looking down on the entire scene. So here I just wanted to show you some things off from the Camp Nou. You can see there, that's basically where we've just come from, over by the club shop and Palau Blaugrana. And also in the background there, you will see the mini Estadi. That, of course, is where Barcelona B play, but the stadiums really are that close together, very, very closely situated. And here we have the sort of gallery. It's a media centre where you can go, and it is a Barcelona's dream, because you can go at any moment in our history, any iconic moments, click on the footage, and you can watch it all. You could spend hours in this area watching different moments, different parts of our history, and it really is a fantastic thing they set up here, with all the finest moments from the Barcelona history on the screen there in front of you. And this is absolutely brilliant. One of my favourite moments of the tour, somewhere you could sit for absolutely hours and just watch these screens and watch these moments go on and on and on. And people do sit there, and I sat there earlier on for quite a long time just watching it. And if you want to get emotional, this is the place to do it, because on these screens, there's about 10 screens altogether showing different angles of every single moment throughout Barcelona's history. They've got the PSG comeback there, they've got the fantastic Clasico wins, and it really is unbelievable to watch it play out in front of your eyes, to watch it there on so many different angles, so many screens, HD quality, the sound they play, and they've got a soundtrack going in the background. It's really a brilliant place to go and reminisce on some of the finest moments in our recent history. And you can see here, we're just walking along the back and looking at the different areas, the different screens. A lot of people sat down and watching on, and it really is a fantastic place to go and a fantastic place to look at. And I said you should put all this together and put it all in a film, because I tell you what, that would be an absolute bestseller. There's some really incredible things going on, some incredible moments, incredible goals, and Barca there doing everything they can to capture those moments and really relive the memories in the best possible way. On here we move to the new Camp Nou, basically what the new stadium is going to be, S by Barca, everything that goes with that. You've got the new mini Estadi, new Palau Blaugrana, the new stadium itself. This is what it's going to look like. Of course, there's going to be a roof on it, it's going to be slightly bigger, it's going to be very much modernised, and here is a little bit of footage from the screens around on what exactly it's going to look like, what the outside is going to be like. Of course, it's going to be a very, very futuristic and modern stadium in its own right, and I think certainly the work on that is expected to start very, very shortly indeed. We haven't heard an awful lot about S by Barca in recent times, but it certainly does look very, very impressive indeed. And that basically is the Camp Nou experience for you guys. That was just a few moments there throughout the tour. It's a very, very good thing to do. If you are coming to Barcelona, if you are going to come and watch a match, it is very much worth doing that, going to the Camp Nou experience. It's 25 euros to get in, and it really is good. You can spend as long as you want. It's not like a sort of tour where you have to be going to one thing and then moving on and somebody's constantly telling you where you've got to go. It's very much free there. You can go in and have some freedom to do whatever you want to do and spend some time there, take some pictures, take some videos. It's a really, really great way of seeing more of the stadium, understanding the culture of Barcelona, understanding the history, and it's a really good place to go and experience all that and more. So hopefully this video has given you a bit of insight into what it is like at the Camp Nou. If you have been, I'm sure that does bring back some fantastic memories from when you were there. If you're yet to go, of course, in the future, if it is possible, do everything you can to experience this fantastic stadium. So leave your thoughts down below, guys. I will see you very, very soon indeed with more videos. Of course, I have been working hard on my Q&A face reveal video. A lot of footage I did manage to take during that experience today at the Camp Nou. So that will be coming up on the 15th of January, and I hope you guys are looking forward to that. I will see you very, very soon indeed. But until then, as always, Vesca El Barça! Barça!